Hey guys, what is up? It's Legion of Gaming here. We're back today with another episode of our Mass Effect 2 Legendary playthrough on Insanity difficulty. In the last episode, we went ahead and did the first mission of the game, which was, Freedom's Progress. Before that we had Cerberus Station and things like that. But, all we really did there was we ran into our old friend Tali, and she was there trying to find a Quarian named Vitor, who actually had footage of who was doing these abductions at the colonies, which was the Collectors, which is this kind of mysterious alien race that apparently in the past they will go and pay slavers and people who are, unscrupulous characters, as they would say, to go and abduct a certain species, whether it be human, Asari, Batarian, whatever, to go and conduct scientific experiments on them. So kind of like what Cerberus was doing, where they were just doing these random scientific experiments to find advancements and things like that and just see what the results would be, right? And we also found out that there's quite a bit of tension between the Quarians and Cerberus, the organization, because apparently Cerberus tried to set a bomb off in the Quarian fleet, which obviously the Quarians were not too pleased about. So there was some tension there, but because we did the mission where we gave Tali the Geth data to help her complete her pilgrimage, she was a lot more receptive to working with us, and then we're able to go ahead and finish that up. And now we found out that Cerberus not only rebuilt us, but they also rebuilt the Normandy, as well as having it completely crewed up here with a new crew. We have a yeoman, which we did not have in the first one. We have a terminal here on the main level right next to the CIC and everything. And then up there is where Joker is. So what you can come here at any point in the game to go and look at these unread messages. So as you can see, you have one here with Anderson, and as you can see, he is still the counselor, because you can see there it's from Counselor Anderson. And he said, on the off chance that the rumors are true and you actually are alive, I need you to come and talk to me on the Citadel. A lot has changed in the last 2 years. You put me on the council, and it's only fair that you be allowed to speak for yourself about what we've been hearing. And then you can just go, if you want, you can just mark all of these as read and not actually read through them unless you're trying to, be a little bit more immersive in your gameplay. This is just a, this one here with Zaid, and this one with Kasumi Goto is just DLC missions. I forget what it's called, but basically you got 2 extra playable squad mates. If you got Legendary Edition, they're included, so you don't have to worry about it. But it's basically just telling you, hey, we got this mercenary for your mission. With this, Kasumi is a master thief, so they're going to use her. You're going to go to the Citadel and do Silence is Golden. So her and Zaid are basically the 2 easiest to recruit squad mates, because you just recruit them and then you automatically have their loyalty missions, which loyalty missions are a new thing for this game. You had those you remember we had the Rex Family Armor quest and the Dr. Salen quest in ME1. This is kind of the same principle, only they expanded on it, so now every playable, or I shouldn't say playable, but every squad, every squad mate that you have will have a loyalty mission, and loyalty missions will play a huge part in the end state of the game. Firewalker here and Overlord and the Arc Projector are also all DLCs. Then you can go right here and you see you have an email from Hackett, and it says, that their scans located the wreckage of the Normandy, and they figured it would be important to us, but they also want us to go and find the 20 crew members who are still unaccounted for from the attack on the Normandy. And then the recon hood, which you guys saw we put on in the last episode, and then this is just saying, hey, we got those $100,000. And whenever you would go by here, or at the end of each of the missions, or exit out of the galaxy map, Kelly usually say, hey, you've got unread messages at your private terminal. You can go around. You can't really talk to any of these guys yet, but you can go over here and examine the controls, kind of like with the last game in ME1, only in this one, codex entries don't actually give you any experience, so it's not like super critical unless you're just trying to do achievements. Like there's a achievement for having all of the codex entries on Jacob's loyalty mission, I believe it is. But just like in the last one, you have the shutter controls here.
You want luck on your side? Never wash your hat. Dad told me that, I think.
And so we're going to go ahead and talk to Joker here, since he is the first returning crew member that we actually have here.
Can you believe this, Commander? It's my baby. Better than new. It fits me like a glove. And leather seats. Military may set the hardware standard, but on a first-gen frigate, they could care less if the seats breathe. Civilian sector comfort by design.
The reproduction is not intended to be perfect, Mr. Moreau. Seamless improvements were made.
And there's the downside. I liked the Normandy when she was beautiful and quiet. Now she's got this thing I don't want to talk about. It's like ship cancer.
So, obviously, yeah, that is one of the things that Joker doesn't like, is having an AI, because he feels like, they're taking his job, basically. Kind of what Shepard was hinting at there in the last scene that we had in our last episode, where it was like, Joker's not gonna like that. But we're gonna continue doing our Paragon playthrough, so we're gonna just be mostly sticking to the Paragon speech options, unless there's just a renegade one that I can't resist. So this ship is just a copy.
It's not the same, Joker. There's nothing here that was even part of the real Normandy.
There's us. I have to take what I can get. The last 2 years sucked. You'll see. Even if an AI is spying on us, no way they'll invest this much just to screw us over. It'll be better than the old days.
I hope so. I died.
Yeah, you're such a downer.
So that's kind of a little bit of the snark and sarcasm that the Commander and Joker have whenever they're just talking to each other. You will notice that that door over there is red, and that is because we do not have access to that room because we haven't recruited the crew member for that yet. This is the armory. This is where Jacob's going to be at. You can come in here at any point in time, and just like how we had the, you remember where the Mako was down there and where the requisitions officer was down in the last level of the SR-1 Normandy? This is the same thing, so you can just change out anybody's weapons loadout or whatever. We only have these weapons now, we don't have any new ones, so that it'll go and show you here, and it'll tell you how many options you have and things like that. And that's just if you don't want to wait until before the mission to do it. Like I said, there's Jacob. This is the briefing room, which after all of your missions, just like with the first game, you'll go in here, only you won't be talking to the council or anything like that. You'll just be talking with the crew, basically, and a few of the people that you recruit. But let's go ahead and talk to Jacob here.
Commander, there hasn't been time to really settle in and take stock. I want to say that working with you is a great opportunity to do something that matters. It's a privilege to serve on the Normandy, Commander.
It's a risky assignment.
You may change your tune if we end up like the original Normandy.
Maybe. As long as the elusive man walks his talk, and you do the same, I'll do my best to make sure we succeed. That's been the condition for my service so far. I have issues with certain actions Cerberus has taken in the past.
Cerberus actions?
What has Cerberus done to make you nervous?
A lot. They've been called terrorists, and with good reason. Doubt you can find a more checkered past. But if the Collector threat is real, and we do something about it, Cerberus will be remembered differently. Or we'll all be tried and executed. Can't count on people thinking about it as hard as I have.
Glad to have you on board, Jacob.
I look forward to working with you, Mr. Taylor.
Likewise, Commander. Let me know if you need anything.
And so, what, as you can see, kind of what I was hinting at in the last few episodes there, was that it seems like Cerberus is a lot more concerned about what other people think than they were in the first game, right? Because now we're like actually on the inside of the organization and those sorts of things, whereas before the only interactions we had was in those quests where they were doing those terrible experiments and things like that on people. So it seems like they either made the decision after all of that stuff was coming out and coming to light to kind of change their ways and try to be a little bit more marketable to the public, but these are our little captain's quarters. You can go view the trophies right here for Mass Effect 2, and then you can also do your unread messages and stuff like that and look at upgrades. Then here you can go and be changing people's appearances, like Miranda has an alternate outfit, Jacob does not. Then you can buy all the little ship models for right here. You can also customize your gear at any point, as well as your casual appearance. And then right here, you know, you've got your music. And then you also have your fish tank. And then you can talk to Edie in any of the rooms, and she'll kind of just give you like a little blurb of dialogue. I usually don't worry about it too much. You can go down to the crew quarters. This was a thing that they made since, you know, in Mass Effect 1 everything was connected. There was no loading screens or anything like that, so you kind of just had to remember where everybody was at. But here it tells you, hey, these are all the locations and these are the team members located on each of these levels that you have so far. Now that is only for people who you can go and like put onto your squad. It's not going to tell you the NPCs that are located on each level. And then the other thing is with Kelly, she'll basically tell you whenever anybody wants to talk to you or anything like that, and when she tells you that, that basically means that someone has a loyalty mission that they are prepared to give you.
Chef surprise again? Come on, Rupert.
I'm sorry, Princess. Filet mignon and caviar coming right up. Let me just get out my doilies.
That'd be real nice, Mr. Gardner.
So Gardner is kind of a funny character to me because he's kind of supposed to be like the rough and rugged cook who's also doing other stuff.
Commander Shepard, the hero of the Citadel. You did humanity proud that day. As Sergeant Rupert Gardner here. How can I be of service?
So also what you can go and talk to basically all of the crew members that you can have dialogue with. If you say need anything, it's going to be giving you upgrades for the ship, and all the upgrades that you do for the ship will help you in the process of completing the final mission, so you can always just ask them, do you need anything?
Do you have everything you need?
I make do, but have you ever tried to prepare a decent meal with military provisions? I'm good, but I'm no miracle worker. Taking down the collectors is going to be rough business. The crew deserves a few fine meals before they throw themselves into the fire.
How can I help?
What do you need?
If I had some quality ingredients... Oh, shit. You've got more to worry about than grocery shopping on the Citadel. Forget I mentioned it.
Give me the list.
If I head that way, I'll keep an eye out.
Much appreciated. Most of this list is probably standard fare for those namby-pambies on the Citadel. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Then we can always investigate and find a little bit more out about the crew, which I typically do because, you know, I try to play this as if, you know, it was me. If it was me and I just got brought back from the dead and was, you know, unconscious for the last couple years, and I'm going to be running a mission with all of these guys, I'm going to want to know who all's got what going on and a little bit of their backstory. So what's your responsibilities here, Gardner?
What do you do here on the Normandy?
What don't I do? Most think of me as the ship's cook, but I'm also the facilities technician and custodian. HVAC, plumbing, non-mission critical electrical. I make sure they're all clean and running.
Janitor and cook?
So the man cleaning the toilets is also preparing the meals.
I wash my hands most of the time. This ain't no luxury liner. You have to pull your own weight in a Cerberus vessel, and I catch what falls through the cracks. Through the cracks.
What are your thoughts on Cerberus?
How do you feel about working for Cerberus?
Damn proud. Cerberus gets the job done. The Alliance and Council have got their heads buried so deep up their butt puckers they can't see squat. It'll take good old human ingenuity to crush these collector vermin. Only Cerberus knows that.
Why did you join Cerberus?
How did you find your way into Cerberus?
Can you believe I was once a family man, working the EZO rigs along the frontier? I was happy enough, but losing everything to Batarian raiders can change your outlook. I needed to make a difference. I'm no soldier, but I've got skills, and Cerberus keeps an eye out for talent. I'll do whatever it takes to help, be that plumbing a sewer, routing an air duct, or keeping everyone's bellies full.
Goodbye.
I won't take any more of your time.
Back to work.
And so then now you get the little journal update there. And then you can also come in here and, like I was saying, Overlord and Firewalker are both DLCs. I know we will for sure be doing Overlord. Probably gonna skip Firewalker just because it's kind of boring, to be honest. You're just driving around in the Hammerhead, which is like the Mako for this game, only it's not as good. Then it's the same as in Mass Effect 1, where you have assignments are side quest / DLC, and missions are like your main story. Now, the thing you need to understand is you only have to do a certain number of these. If you really want to, you can go do the final mission after you've recruited like the minimum number of squad mates if you want. But obviously it's not going to be the absolute best decision for you to be making. So let's go on over here to the med bay, because we saw somebody who might look a little familiar to you guys. Dr. Chakwas.
Commander Shepard, I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board. It's good to see you alive.
Good to see you too.
Nice to see a familiar face, Doctor.
I feel the same. I wish more of the original crew could be here. The kind of trauma you endured would have changed most people. But not you, I see. Welcome back, Shepard.
And so then, if you do the investigate for her, she will give you the medical bay upgrade, and you can go and use it to remove your facial scars. If you don't remove them, then, you know, if you're a renegade, then you start to look like more and more evil. I'm sure you guys have all seen the glowing eyes and all that stuff from people's renegade playthroughs, and then if you continue Paragon like we are, then they eventually go away.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so. This medical bay seems very much like the sick bay on the original Normandy. Only thing missing are my private reserves. I even have a bottle of Ceres Ice brandy that I was saving for a special occasion.
So you can offer to go get her another one.
I'll keep an eye out for a replacement bottle.
Oh, you needn't. It's expensive, and we have much larger concerns ahead.
What made you leave the Alliance, Doc?
Doctor, you've been with the Alliance for years. Why leave now?
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center, a very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
You need to fly?
Colonial military life isn't for you?
I've spent most of my life on warships, never knowing what the next mission might bring. I'm used to the hum of engines, the creaking of bulkheads, that subtle vertigo when the momentum dampeners kick in. Life planetside is just too static, too boring.
And if you remember, that's actually a lot of what she was saying at the beginning of Mass Effect 1, so you can see that she really kind of just stayed true to her character. What made you join Cerberus?
You're not the Cerberus type, Doctor.
I don't work for Cerberus. I work for you. On a mission that may be crucial to the survival of the human race. I have faith that your dealings with Cerberus will be ethical. I trust you, Commander.
And that, as well, is just another recurring theme throughout the game, where you go and when you meet some of these crew members or have some of these interactions with people that you were interacting with in Mass Effect 1, what they say is that we're here for you. We only want to do this, you know, for you, because of the leader that Shepard is, and, you know, the values that he kind of instills with the crew and things like that when you're doing these sort of things. So it just kind of shows the bond that you can kind of create with a crew, basically, that's doing all of these missions with each other and surviving all of these, you know, near-death experiences. What do you think our odds of survival are?
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shanxi, the Skillian Blitz. We survived the Battle of the Citadel and the destruction of the Normandy together. I've lived a full life. No regrets. I'd like to make sure the crew gets the same opportunity.
Talk to you later, Doc.
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
And so then, you, like I said, you can see all the red doors are ones where you're gonna probably eventually have a crew member. Except for the whole, like, guys and girls bathroom. So something funny you can do is go over here, and they'll say,
Shepard, the men's restroom is on the port side of the ship.
yep. And then you can go into the crew quarters here, but it's kind of just these two talking usually.
She'll be a year old next month.
Oh, you'll miss her first birthday.
Well, my family lives in New Canton.
Oh, that colony's on the edge of the frontier. Could be vulnerable to collector attack, couldn't it?
Exactly. It's most important that she have a first birthday. That's why I'm here.
And so, again, like I was saying, they really, I think BioWare did a great job of trying to help humanize Cerberus after them seeing it as just like such a black and white, Cerberus bad, never do anything good type of mentality and portrayal in that first game. So that's why I just like going and investigating fully out all of these dialogues, is because to me it helps really flesh out the world that they put so much effort into developing. And as you can see now, Miranda is in what was our room, basically, in the SR1, and that's why we have the private quarters on the top deck there. So let's talk to her.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Normandy status.
Anything I should know regarding the Normandy?
The crew's working well, and the ship appears to be performing to specifications.
What do you do here, Miranda? Spy on you.
What exactly are your duties, aside from keeping an eye on me?
I'm the elusive man's agent. You're his most important asset. My job is to make sure you succeed. Aside from that, I send regular reports to the elusive man, updating our status.
Can we talk?
You have a minute, Miranda?
No doubt you've got a lot of questions. Cerberus isn't as evil as most people believe. If I can help allay any of your concerns, I'd be happy to do so. So, what would you like to know?
And so then, you know, I'm sure you guys noticed Jacob is kind of supposed to be the person that Shepard initially warms up to kind of like help put him at ease at the beginning, right? And then Miranda is supposed to be the one who can kind of like lift the curtains open and kind of let some of the light in on what Cerberus is like a whole organization is. I think that it's very interesting the way that they kind of crafted that dynamic here at the beginning, so that you could choose to get all this information if you wanted to. What are Cerberus's goals, Miranda?
I know what we're doing here, but what's Cerberus's long-term goal?
The advancement of the human race. Nothing more, nothing less. The Solarians have the Special Tasks Group. The Asari have their legendary commandos for stealth and recon operations. Cerberus is humanity's answer to those organizations.
Who's in charge?
But those organizations are regulated by governments. Who keeps Cerberus in check?
Nobody. We're privately funded, and our backers trust the elusive man to make the right decisions. But he's very clear about our goals. Protect humanity and serve its advancement.
What is Cerberus?
Are you military or political? Or both?
Cerberus has several divisions. Political, military, scientific. But we're all working towards the same goal. The teams you encountered before your accident were mostly part of our military division. But not all Cerberus operations use the same protocols. We try not to get bogged down in bureaucracy or formality.
I like how she calls us literally getting blown up and turned into space goop. An accident. But, you know, I think it's very interesting if you pay attention to that basically each Cerberus cell, as you kind of noticed if you investigated some of the other quests and missions that you do in Mass Effect 1, you would kind of see that each little cell or project basically functions completely independent almost of the rest of the organization, and everything is very, insulated so that no projects really know about the other, right? So it's almost like if you guys have ever played like Fallout, the vaults, right? Each vault is supposed to be like a different social experiment, right? So I just think it's kind of interesting that that's also how Cerberus is designed, is so that way everybody only focuses kind of on what their little, project's mission is. Like Lazarus's mission was literally to bring us back, so that was all they focused on, not the rest of Cerberus. Tell us about what kind of resources they have.
What kind of resources does Cerberus have?
We're very well funded, though I doubt anyone other than the elusive man knows exactly how well. But our resources aren't unlimited. Reviving you and rebuilding the Normandy was a significant investment, and a significant risk. We're all hoping you can do the impossible, Shepard. No pressure.
I want to know about you. Actually, hold on. One more thing. What about the elusive man?
What can you tell me about the elusive man?
Not much that you don't already know. Even I don't have access to most of his background. And you've seen more of him than most ever do. It's rare for him to become directly involved in missions, but you're something special. Whatever else people might say about him, I can assure you he's got humanity's best interests at heart. That includes you and me.
What makes you think so?
How can you be sure of that if you know so little about him?
I didn't get to where I am without knowing how to gauge people's motives and ambitions, even from brief encounters. He's no saint, and he'd be the first to admit it. But he is committed. Humanity couldn't have a better advocate.
Oh, and now we want to know more about you.
Tell me about yourself, Miranda.
Oh, I guess that's fair. I've spent the last 2 years learning everything there is to know about you. Well, you should probably know that I've had extensive genetic modification. Not my decision, but I make the most of it. It's one of the reasons the elusive man handpicked me. I'm very good at just about anything I choose to do.
You're cocky.
You certainly don't lack for confidence.
It's just a fact. My reflexes, my strength, even my looks, they're all designed to give me an edge. No point in hiding from it. It's the reason I'm trusted to oversee the most dangerous, risky, and technically demanding operations Cerberus undertakes. And it's why I was assigned to you. It's my job to make sure you succeed, Shepard.
You're genetically modified?
What level of genetic modification are we talking about?
That's very thorough. Physically, I'm superior in many ways. I heal quickly, and I'll likely live half again as long as the average human. My biotic abilities are also very advanced. For a human. Add to that some of the best training and education money can buy, and, well, it's pretty impressive, really.
So you're perfect.
Sounds like you were designed to be perfect.
Maybe, but I'm not. I'm still human, Shepard. I make mistakes like everyone else. And when I do, the consequences are severe. Everyone expects a lot from someone with my abilities.
We'll talk later.
Thanks for the information, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
Of course, Commander. Whatever you need.
And so now, let's go ahead and go down to the last deck of the ship, which is engineering. Now, I will say if you are playing on console, sometimes the loading screens on this might be a little bit longer, so you might want to, be a little bit more efficient in the future whenever you're doing it, and wait until you have, multiple people to come see on each level if your loading screens are a little bit long. But Engineer Donnelly and Daniels are, the replacements for Engineer Adams, who was on the SR1 with us, and Tally as well from the first game, so let's talk to them and see what they've been up to here.
You came all the way down here to see us?
You're speaking to our commanding officer.
Hello.
I'm touring the ship, getting to know my crew.
I'm Engineer Ken Donnelly, handling the power control systems. This is Gabby.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually. I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Do you need anything?
Are you set up okay down here?
We can't complain. I just wish it didn't take so long to calibrate the FBA arrays.
Kenneth, you're complaining.
What's the issue?
What kind of problems are you having?
When they upgraded the Normandy design, they got a bit sloppy with the FBA couplings. I won't bore you with the tech, but there's an array of attenuators in the primary power transfer system that channels the field bleed.
Kenneth, you're boring the commander with tech. In short, if we had T6 FBA couplings installed, it'd save us a lot of maintenance time each day.
Why don't you have them?
Why isn't something like that already installed?
It's probably just a design oversight. Efficiency isn't affected. It's a maintenance issue.
Also, the T6 model can be hard to find. Nash and Stellar Dynamics discontinued them.
We could probably find used ones in the Omega markets, but we have no time for shore leave.
Tell me about your training.
Where did you receive your training?
Both Gabby and I started in the Alliance, serving on the SSV Perugia.
She flew in the first wave at the Battle of the Citadel. We saw Sovereign firsthand.
But you left the Alliance.
Why did you leave the Perugia?
After you died, Anderson lost political clout. The Council backslid on the Reaper menace.
They discounted Sovereign as an isolated threat, as a single...
Which was bullshit. They said your warnings of a greater danger were mistaken or delusional.
We lost respect for Alliance leadership. We need to fight the real enemy, and only Cerberus seemed to be doing that.
Ken, why did you join Cerberus?
How did you wind up with Cerberus, Ken?
Once you were gone, the Alliance brass descended like vultures, tearing apart everything you'd said. I was very public with my defense for you. I didn't hold back.
That's an understatement. If Kenneth wasn't such a talented engineer, they'd have court-martialed him for insubordination.
But it got me noticed by the elusive man. He made an offer, and here I am.
Gabby, why did you join?
So why did you join, Gabby?
Kenneth and I have been partners in crime since we graduated from Tech Academy. When he got the Cerberus offer, I insisted that it include me. He'd fall apart without me.
Thanks, Mum.
Also, I love engines, and the Normandy is state-of-the-art. When I got the opportunity to work on her, I had to jump.
What are your feelings on Cerberus?
What do you think about Cerberus?
Actually, we don't know much about the organization other than the Normandy team. We know our mission and who's in charge.
We're off to kick the collectors right in their daddy bags. That's enough for me.
Alright, so that is all that we have for them, so we'll talk to y'all later.
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
And then if you go and walk outside of the room, you always get like a bonus dialogue thing with these two.
I'm amazed Shepard came down to see us.
I told you he would.
And so it just kind of changes after each time that you have like a actual conversation with them. And so what?
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
Now she'll do that sometimes, and you also won't have one. So like, as basically, if you haven't gone back out since the last time, then she's still going to keep giving you that same response. But to the galaxy map. So you have a few different options here. The Omega 4 relay is like the last thing that you're doing since where your final mission is. As you can see, you have 3 missions to do here, and we can explore the Normandy crash site, or if you want, you can just go straight to the Citadel. What I usually do is I come over here, and you see now you have to buy fuel and probes, whereas in the first one, you didn't have to buy any probes or fuel to travel in between star systems. You could just go everywhere. But we're going to go ahead and explore the Normandy crash site. Because, like, to me, that's what makes the most sense in terms of, like, how I would kind of go and handle this situation is before I begin to do my new mission, I would first start by having complete closure over what happened the last time, you know, we kind of went outside the wire, right? And in Mass Effect 2, whenever there's an actual mission on the planet that you landed on, you'll hear EDI say that anomaly detected. And so you will start scanning, and then you see the little white line there. It will go and tell you where you need to go.
Research projects Palladians use to upgrade heavy pistols, armor, and cybernetics.
And then whenever you find a resource for the first time, EDI will tell you what that resource is used for as far as upgrades go. But I'll probably do most of the resource grinding off camera, so that way y'all don't have to watch
Scans
me
have found something.
go over this thing the whole time. And then once you detect the anomaly, it'll kind of tell you a little bit about what it found or whatever. So it's like, hey, yeah, nope, that's the wreck where the Normandy was. So now you can land and go on down there. And so there will be 20 dog tags, one for each crew member that was left unaccounted for, like the email said. There's the Mako over there. And so you just come right on over here and get started. This is what the dog tags will look like. You'll get 12 experience for each one. And then in the third game, you will go and have a memorial on the ship itself that has all of the names here. And then as you can see there, you're going to have a little flashback on most of these things. Everyone go ahead and press F to place your monument in the comments below and in the chat. For everyone who died on the first Normandy in that surprise attack. I just love that little piano notes that it plays right there. I just think it hits me right in the feels every time. And also just always appreciate the visuals in some of these games. It's absolutely crazy. So for this one, you can't go and go up right here. You gotta go like this. And then whenever you see one of these crates, you can shoot it and there will be a dog tag in it. There's also a few EZO containers here, which is element 0. And so there are a few of these that are like really hidden, so just take your time and you can follow along with this and we should find all of them. There's Caden, which as you guys know from our little recap in the beginning, he's the one we chose to leave on the Vermeer mission in the last game. Then you've got one more over here. And so then you want to go and look a little bit around some of these because the angles will change it sometimes. So then you got one right here. This is one of the ones that if you don't take it really slow right here that you can really just miss very easily, because like you see the big structure right here, like, oh well, there's definitely going to be one there, right? Another one, 7 out of 10. Then there's one out here on the ledge. And then you can see we have another container to shoot there. There's not one here. You can't get that one from down here, I don't think. But we'll grab it when we get back up there. Some more element 0. And you'll find little containers like that on most of the missions where there'll just be like a little resource there. And then for the Mako, you can go walk on over here. Missed this one. That would have been bad. halfway there now. And we got this one over here. And then you saw that there's going to be another one over there. There's one up here. But we got another little thing right here you can do with this data pad, which is actually Presley's little journal. Spoke to the commander about this. All these damned aliens aboard the Alliance's most advanced ship. I just don't trust them. That damned Asari and Aquarian. What does Shepard think? This is a zoo? So here it's probably saying that he had a conversation because it starts with the Quarian. Seems she's on some kind of pilgrimage, trying to improve the lot of her home ship. I can understand that I would babysit. So here it's probably saying I wouldn't let her babysit my children or anything, but if she had to be on board, I suppose that's not too bad. And then here he kind of has his, you know, looking back on his past entries, how blind he was at the time. I came on this ship firmly believing humanity was on its own in the galaxy. But Shepard brought all these aliens on board, and that no way we could have accomplished what he did without them. I am proud to say I'd die for any members of this crew, regardless of what world they were born on. And so to me, again, just goes to show you the impact that Shepard had as a leader, being the commander of his vessel here. And, you know, don't worry, there's not another little dog tag hiding down over there, it's just this one right here. And then your other little Easter egg that gets to stay with you is this. Shepard's lost helmet. Which, like, to me, I thought it could have been cool if they, like, had, like, a little blood spot or whatever, or, like, something here to kind of to indicate besides just the helmet that, hey, this is where you landed. But I think they did a pretty good job with this whole part of things here. So you can come back over in case you missed any of these and give it a little look. But next we're coming over here to this escape pod. There's not anything on this side of this one, as you guys can see. Got another one. 13 out of 20. Got another thing of Ezo here. Which, as you can see, it's only a 150. Most of the ones you find on the other missions will be like much bigger, like in the like 500, 600, 1,000. Just kind of depends on the mission. And then come on up here. $14. Then you got one right here, which is 15. There is 16. And here is 17. And then, you know, you can check down here, make sure that you're not missing anything. Check on over here. Just be careful you don't fall off this ledge, because they can kind of make the game glitch out sometimes and freeze you in place. And then this is the other one from the crate that we shot, which that's why sometimes if you're worried you're gonna miss one, you can just go and not shoot the crate until you're right there on top of where it's gonna be. So I know there's one over there, so we missed one somewhere. It's probably over here on the front of one of these. So we know we got these all over here. So those are all good. Let's see, we got the two over there. not one here. Went up and got this one as well. Because that was the last one that we just got. We got that one. We got the one that was in here. Ah, here it is. So, if you just go right here, which the reason I didn't see that one was because we went over that way, and then it was just covered up right there. So, now we're gonna come on over here and get the very last one. Which this one is gonna be the one over here by the cockpit, as seen by the little flight chair. And right there. And then, you know, once you get everything, you just go on back to the shuttle there and go back to the ship. And that's all you really got. Probably gonna go ahead and have us do the little approach to Omega here once we get back, but like you see, you can't really like do anything else or interact with it to like hang the dog tags there, which could have been something else cool that they could have potentially done. As you can see, mission summary again, and then shows you the experience, your credits, and then totals up the EZO that we found. Which usually whenever you find the EZO, it will only be like a couple hundred like that because it's supposed to be super rare, so they obviously don't want to just be handing you tons and tons of it. You won't get a new message right here. The Alliance Griffith will show the information you found at the Normandy crash site, and we've sent it out to the affected families. By finding those dog tags, you have provided peace of mind for a lot of people, Commander. I thank you on their behalf. And so then we go on back to our galaxy map here, and you just are clicking down to go and get the propulsion there. You can kind of coast a fair bit. And then you go get probes, and then you land right here, and this is where our first few recruitment missions are going to take place. And as I said, you can, if you want, just go straight to the Citadel and recruit Krasumi right away. And then just come land here and recruit Zaid right away. So, personally, I like this look a little bit better on Miranda. Just because I think I don't really know, it just kind of looks cool to me. For right here, I believe what we would do is go ahead and keep on leveling Incinerate, and then I'll just save the next level up probably, and here we'll keep leveling up her class. We're gonna just do pull for Jacob, then press back there. Don't have any other weapons to equip, so we just hit exit, and that screen comes up whenever you start any mission.
Welcome to Omega. You're new here, aren't you? I can always tell. Allow me to... Oh, hello, Mocklin. I was just...
Leave, Fargate, now.
Oh, of course, Mocklin. Whatever she wants.
Blasted scavengers. Welcome to Omega, Shepard.
You know who I am?
Of course. We had you tagged the moment you entered the Terminus systems. You're not as subtle as you think. Aria wants to know what brings a dead Spectre to Omega. I suggest you go to Afterlife now and present yourself.
Relax.
Cut the attitude. I'm not here to cause problems for Omega.
Things explode around you, Shepard. You can't blame Aria for keeping an eye on you. Afterlife, now.
I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morton Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlife that may have information on him.
So, I don't know if y'all remember the elevator conversations in Mass Effect 1 on the Citadel. This is kind of the same thing where EDI will give you information, usually immediately whenever you get off the ship and come to a planet, basically, and tell you what's going on with the missions you have there that you can potentially do and everything else like that. But like I said, this is where we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up for today. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.